we ride.
What's up? My name is Khalid. This is the Urban Survival Guide, a no bullshit guide to living on the streets. I'm not about to feed you a bunch of junk. I'm just gonna give you some experiences and some things I learned when I lived on the street, because I was on the street from the age of 16 until 21, so I pretty much know how it is. And now in this first video, what we're really gonna do on my end, you know, this is a community group effort. So there are people like me who are now what we call house dwellers, you know, got a 9-to-5 job, living in a house, got kids, all that type of thing. But I really felt like I needed to give back to other people on the street, you know, in more particular in my case, towards like teenage kids, because that's where I came from, and also more particular to like small town areas. So I can't really help you out as much as like huge cities like Atlanta or New York. And I can help you out a little bit as far as like rural areas, like in the middle of nowhere. I did, you know, go kind of in there too. But mainly I was in like these small towns that people like pass by and never even look twice through. You know, they're passing through them to get to bigger towns. You know, you got like a couple of stores, a Walmart, shit like that, that everywhere has. All the major fast food restaurants and everything that you can't get a job at, and I understand. But we're also going to be bringing in other people from different types of aspects of life, because there's multiple situations when it comes to someone living out on the street, or maybe living out of a car or an RV or anything like that. So we're bringing in all of these people that I've met over the years that have like experience in these different outlets. So for me, you know, some of the younger teenage guys who are living on the street with no car or any of that, that's kind of who I'm focused towards. And then we got, you know, some stuff from other people who are still on the street as well. Not just house dwellers like myself now, but people that are still living on the streets, whether they're nomads, you know, they travel around in RVs and little tribes and everything, whether they live on the street, whether they are what we call extended campers who come into town, but really they live out in the woods and everything. So there's more information there. Just people from all facts of life, and also maybe some low-income families as well, some ideas to cut down costs and all things like that. So it's kind of a broad spectrum. It's not just for people that are living on the street, and it's not just for teenagers either. This can go for anybody. So what I'm gonna do to start this off, I could sit here and talk all day about, well, you should do this or you should do that, but I don't know your situation. I don't know what you have, what you don't have, the resources you have already, what you don't, what resources that are unavailable to you, period. So what I'm going to do is basically just try to go by example, just to give you kind of an idea of where to go about it. Some things are really going to help, some things probably you wouldn't even give a damn about, depending on who you are. And this is the same way with everybody else. So what we're doing is coming together and throwing out our ideas and the things that we learned, maybe even some stories or situations to help people out, not just to survive. I hate that. It's like, give people that are on the street just the shit to survive. This is a no bullshit guide. I'm not just going to give you shit to survive. I'm going to give you shit to have fun. I'm even going to teach you a couple of scams to get some money out of people. That way you can buy shit you need. Stuff that nobody's really going to tell you. They're going to tell you, well, you need to go to a shelter. You need to do this. Well, the very first thing I want to do in this introductory video is tell you one important thing. Stay the fuck away from homeless shelters. Because here's what we're going to do. You're not homeless. You're houseless. That's the first step, man. Put it in your head. You're not homeless, because a home could be a house, it could be a street, it could be a neighborhood, it could be a town, it could be a state, it could be a country. You know what? If it comes down to it, it could be the entire fucking earth. You can't leave that, so you're not homeless. You're simply houseless. Take on a different title, man. If you like to travel around, you know, move around a lot, shit, you're a nomad. Myself, I like the title Urban Survivalist. You know, you see these people on TV all day. It's like how to survive in the wilderness. And, you know, they go out there and like bushcraft, and that's just what they do. Well, I'm the same way, except in urban settings. So I think that's how I really help out. I mean, if, you know, oh, we also have squatters and stuff like that to help out too. So I'm going to be just showing you, basically, from my end, all these other people are going to help out too. Even if I have to pass along their ideas and shit. Because, you know, some of them live on the street, they can't record anything. And this is also for people that just know people that are on the street, because I know a lot of them can't even watch this shit. So you can help them out by passing this information along. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and like be by example. What would I do All right, so we're gonna start this off. How would I end up homeless now? Well, let's say I lost my job, and let's say I'm renting this place, but my lease is gonna be up, and I can't get a loan or anything like that. So obviously my ass is about to be on the street, and we're just gonna pretend I don't have a child and all of that shit, right? It's just, we're just gonna lead by example here. So I'm thinking back to when I was younger. What would I do in this situation? Just lost my job. I just found out today. Found out my lease is gonna be up in like a week. So the very first thing that I'm gonna do before anything is I'm gonna get all my shit together, right? I mean, that's what everybody does. They're like, well, I gotta get it all out of here. So I'm gonna put all my electronics in a pile, my furniture and everything. Let's say I own all this furniture. I don't, but let's say I do. I'm gonna go ahead and push all that shit together. And the very first thing I'm gonna do is use the resources that I have. Obviously, I can get on the internet right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and start selling off all that shit. But there's a couple of electronics that I'm not going to sell. That's gonna be cell phones. No matter how many I have, I'm not gonna sell one of them. Cell phones, any laptops, any iPads, any kind of tablets, anything. I'm not gonna sell that shit unless I have an abundance of it. Really, I wanna break it down. I wanna have a cell phone. I wanna have either a laptop or a tablet or something like that. And I'll break down all that shit later, but really, you're gonna get it together, keep those few items. Everything else, you're gonna sell off and get as much money as you can and put it in your pocket and don't touch it. And I'll tell you like what I would do to spend that money. But then, the most important thing is you want to contact your friends and family, right? Everyone that's close, the people that you're probably going to call to see if you can stay with them. Don't ask that first of all. Don't ask if you can stay with anybody. No matter how close you are, no matter how good of friends they are, been there for you through everything, or family members, don't ask them right away if you can stay with them. That's the worst thing to do. The very first thing you want to do is ask them a couple of questions, first of all. One, can I keep some stuff at your house? They're gonna say yes. Can I keep a small bag in your closet? All right, so let's say you got 4 friends that you have, 2 friends, 2 family members. All right, and so they're gonna let you keep shit at their house. Don't just pile all your shit at their house, man. Take your clothes, your bathroom supplies, anything that you might want to re-up on later, and put that in something. And I got an example right here. Let me grab it. All right. So this is one that I have put together in case I need to drop it at a friend's house, right? So I got one. Let's just say I have like 4 of those. I mean, that one's actually kind of big. That's actually all of my stuff right there, just in case. But so let's say I broke that down to like 4. So you ask them, can I keep some shit at your house? They're gonna let you, man. Like, especially if you have like Tupperware like this, or not Tupperware, but you know, this big fucking waterproof shit like this. You can even leave it in a carport and it would be cool. But there's a reason to this, man. And so, you know, have that shit ready to take to your friend's house or have them come pick it up. All right? Then that same friend that you asked to keep that shit at his house, ask them if you can, you know, one day a week, one day throughout the week, every day that week, let's say a Monday, you know, this would be my Monday box. So every Monday, ask them if you can just drop by and switch your clothes out. Then if they say yes, then maybe you can negotiate whether or not you could maybe wash that 1 pair of clothes or a couple of pair of clothes at their house. Maybe if you can get a shower on that Monday. Maybe even if you can just use their stove on that Monday. So really you would only be there at the most like an hour, right? Take a quick fucking shower, cook something really quick. We're going to talk about food and everything later. But what I really want to get across is with your clothes, bathroom supplies, maybe some electronics, anything like that, go ahead and break it down to how many friends and family will let you do that. And now you have stash spots, and you also kind of want to gauge, you know, what you keep in what box and where. So let's say you got like job interview clothes, right? And you put all your nice looking type of clothes or your uptown clothes into one box. Well, you definitely want to make sure that goes to the friend that's closest to town. So if you got like some dirty or outwoodsy type clothes, you want to make sure that one goes to the friend that lives over next to the wooded areas. So you just want to not just throw shit in different places. You want to be smart about it and kind of calculate where you're going to need that stuff at, who's going to be closest to that stuff, and then just kind of work it out. And really, it should take you only about an hour at the most to get all of that done. And they may even throw you a couple of bucks because you're about to be in that situation. But you don't ask them if you can stay there right off the rip. Now, if you have already got a job locked down, but you're still getting like kind of booted out of your place, and you're going to be getting a check in like the next 2 weeks or anything, you're going to be getting a lot of money in like the next week or 2 weeks or whatever, then yeah, sure, if you want go ahead and crash at your friend's place for 2 weeks. But I'm going to tell you something that's really important, and I learned because I did that quite a bit. No matter how good friends they are, no matter how close family members they are, your welcome will be outrun really quick. And if you're thinking that you're going to move into their place for a couple of weeks, only like 2 weeks, and you'll have a job, you'll be looking for a job, and you'll have it, and you'll be back on your feet, I hate to break your heart, but you're fucking wrong. Just to be real about it, it's not going to happen, man. So the best thing to do is not ask for that place to stay until the weather gets horrible, or if it's just unbearable, or if you're just gone fucking hungry for like 3 weeks. Wait until shit gets really bad, then ask for a little R&R. Can I stay at your house for like 2 days? Man, it's been raining all week. Or, it's gonna rain all week. Can I crash at your house until that passes? Or, it's gonna be 103 tomorrow. Can I crash at your house tomorrow? Because there's no way I'm gonna be able to be out on the street like that. Save that shit. Another thing, find the best friend or the closest family member, like a grandmother or whoever you got, man. Ask them if you can simply use their mailbox. Alright, and this is still on day one. You gotta get all this shit done. Don't be sitting on Facebook. Fucking put that shit down, get all this done. Day one. They say, you know, ask them if you can use their mailbox. Say you want to try to go get like food stamps or any kind of assistance or anything. Now, I'm not saying you're guaranteed to get that shit. You might be denied, in which case, you're still in the same boat you were, so fucking keep paddling. But if you can, get them to drive you up there, immediately do that, and in some cases you can go ahead and get emergency food stamps. That way you have a card to go ahead and stock up on food. And I'll tell you the best shit to buy for living on the street. Don't be filling your friend's freezer up full of food saying, well, if you help buy the food you can stay here. They'll say that shit, but still, you're welcome to be run out, and then you'll be out on the street with no fucking food. So don't even do that. Save that shit for later. And I tell you what, they'll be more willing to help you out the less they see you. It's just the truth. So, you know, that's the first thing to do. But now, let's say you've sold your electronics, you sold your furniture, all in this week, at least as much as you could. You got like $100 in your pocket. You've got your stash boxes already at your friend's house. You've already gotten your grandmother or whoever to drive you. You got approved for food stamps. I mean, it's pretty easy here in Georgia, especially if you're going to be homeless. I don't even think you have to give them an address anymore, so you might not even have to use the mailbox. But, you know, you can use that mailbox for anything else. Let's go ahead and say you got all of that shit done. Now it's your first day stepping out on the street. Well, now I'm going to go over what is called an EDC. You'll see a lot of people talking about EDCs, and that means everyday carry bag, or everyday carry, a bag. And a lot of these people will, like, you'll look it up, and a lot of it will be like preppers and people that have it in cases of emergency. Well, you're just going to have to alter that a little bit. And since I don't know your situation, what you have, what you don't have, what I'm going to do is just use what I have around the fucking house. I haven't bought anything for this at all. And the only difference is, like, when I was homeless, I actually used this bag. This is the same bag I used. Just a blind book bag my cousin gave me. And I actually got a bag I bought for traveling a couple of years ago. I would actually use that one, so we're going to start off with that. And I'm just going to go around the house and find shit that would be useful to keep in that bag. Like I said, you can watch some of the prepper videos for their EDCs, but they're for survival situations. How am I going to get back home if something happens, you know, World War III. But what we're going to do is go over how the fuck are you going to live out of that bag. So, keep watching, that'll be the next video, and yeah, thanks for even looking into this. Because like I said, this is a no bullshit guide to living on the street, or really, alternatively, period.